Let's bring in the Chairman of Seplat Energy PLC, Bryant Orjiako. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you.
Fine, let's start this way. Seplat is pushing for cleaner and more sustainable sources of energy globally. Wouldn't this affect your huge investments in gas and the development of new crude oil acreages?
Thank you very much. I think the message that we've given in Seplat is the fact that we are providing sustainable energy solution to society. This is a very important purpose for us. What that means is that we are working hard to develop an energy mix that will meet the needs of society. It does not mean that we will jettison everything else we're doing being fossil fuel, but what it means is that we'll begin to do this in a more sustainable, cleaner way. That is why, as far back as 2012, Seplat had taken a deliberate decision to monetize our gas. That's one of the first things we did. And that is why today, Seplat provides 30% of gas to power in Nigeria and still growing. So we're not going to jettison that huge investment we've made over the years. But what we are really emphasizing is the fact that gas is a cleaner form of energy. Why are we strongly supporting energy transition in a manner that suits Nigeria's perspective and Africa's perspective? It is because we are determined to contribute our quota in removing the very severe energy poverty that exists
in Nigeria.
Just taking into context, Nigeria installed capacity for grid power is as high as 12,500 megawatts. The actual delivery to consumers is about 6,000 megawatts. But in the effect, only about 3,000 to 4,000 of that is really available. Then you look at what is happening with diesel generation in Nigeria. That is actually the main source of power. Now, what does that mean? It now means that Nigeria is one of the most expensive source of energy in the world, because the cost of delivering grid power today is about 10 cents per kilowatt hour. The cost of delivering power from diesel is as high as 50 cents per kilowatt hour and sometimes as high as 60 cents per kilowatt hour. Nowhere else in the world do you have that. Our role is to provide the form of energy that will deliver affordable, accessible, and reliable energy.
I was going to ask, well, okay, you're moving away, so I was going to ask, how do you reduce that percentage you were talking about? But one would, normally ask, renewables appear to be the way the world is going, all right, like you're pointing out. Are you not apprehensive of your revenue base if you move away from your huge investments in gas?
No, we're not apprehensive because we're not moving away from gas. In any event, we're actually deepening our investment in the midstream, which is really gas. And what we're doing here is to align ourselves with the government's initiative. You may have heard government's plan to have the decade of gas. That is very significant. The government has also recently passed the PIA. If you look at the contents of that act, it really gives a lot of emphasis in gas in the domestic market. And what that really implies is that government is now saying that they want to have a national expanded gas program. And that means quite a lot more investment. And if you look at the level of gas reserve in Nigeria, you'll agree with me that it's not something that will be left. When you have a country that is practically in darkness, a country that is suffering many things. So what we then do is that we take gas and do many things with it, gas to power, which is where we're leading. We're also now developing and making sure that we install LPG processing facilities in all of our gas plants. And what this then means is that we're contributing to the LPG penetration in homes. Now, this has very many dimensions to it. It's going to displace wood and kerosene and charcoal from the domestic homes. And for real contextualization of this,
Right into the rural areas?
absolutely, all over the place. Gas is one commodity that once you deliver the supply, it creates demand. If you put gas, LPG in cooking homes, even in rural areas, it creates an phenomenal demand, and that's where to go. Now, it is not only that it preserves the environment by delivering a cleaner form of cooking gas, but it also protects the people's health.
What about the affordability?
It is actually cheaper than kerosene. It is actually cheaper than firewood and charcoal. That is really the real message. Once you make the supplies, people can afford it. It is cleaner, their health is preserved. The volume of fumes and smoke and carbon dioxide and monoxide that people inhale in villages is actually creating a major health hazard.
Before I let you go, do you believe that this will have an impact on Seplat's share price now or in the future?
Absolutely. We believe that as a company, when we speak to the fact that we are playing a major role in energy transition, we focus on the ESG narrative. And in doing this, investors are very interested in what we're doing. We're now making ESG a major component of our operations. Our KPIs are dependent on it. We must protect the environment. We must make sure that we support the social impact in wherever we operate, as well as governance. And these are all the things that we're doing to make sure that our ESG scores improve. So our share price should indeed do an upward movement because of what we're doing there.
Good business.
So Seplat Energy PLC is the way to go.
Good business for Seplat, one would say. Chairman, Seplat Energy PLC, Bryant Orjiako, glad to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.